Hello and welcome to episode 11 of our Timberborn Update 7 Emberpelts playthrough, cycle 18, day 9. Last time we built this. Some of you like it, some of you don't, but I like it, so it's going to stay. This is our juice pressing area so the beavers can finally have access to all of the juice their hearts desire. And there's still some more stuff we can do to improve, and obviously we need to have the big tanks at some point. But for now, I'll take it. I think that's pretty cool. And I have mentioned the past couple of episodes that we really need to get a mine going. And we do have one here. That is technically the most accessible one at this point in time. But if we peel back our layers here, there's a lot of work under the hood that has to happen for that to be viable. And enough of you have left comments saying that, oh, okay, we need to take these guys out. Enough of you have left comments saying that we need to just figure out how to get in here, wherever that other mine was. Where is it? Where is that? Oh, okay, it's over here. This isn't that far away, and it's not flooded. So I believe the coordinates on this are 220 to 208. Is what somebody left. Let's see, right? Yeah, okay, so right here. If we were to have the entrance go that way, this is actually right here underneath the number cruncher. Should we choose to go that route. I think that's probably going to be the best thing to do, but keep in mind, we cannot, unless we do some excavation, cannot put this in here. We have to get rid of a bunch of these layers, which is going to require kind of a complicated setup with overhangs. But I believe in the beavers. Believers, beavers. It doesn't really work when it's the same phonetics, but it's spelled differently. I digress. We're going to blast our way down there and start with that. That's going to be my goal for today. My overarching main goal is to get that mine up and running. And in terms of the materials to construct it, we have enough logs. We have exactly enough gears currently. We've got more than enough planks, and we have more than enough bricks. So it's, at this point, just an issue of getting the site accessible and making it possible for the beavers to actually excavate. Which might be a little harder than it seems. But we'll see what happens. Plenty of stuff to do for sure. So yes, those of you who are like, build tubeways now! Yes, I'd love to. But I don't have the metal for it. I have to get the mine going first. So we're going to get there. We will get there, and we will utilize tubeways. And yes, I will do my absolute best to utilize trains. It's not guaranteed that the mod's going to work perfectly. Remember, it is a very complicated mod that's being attached to a very complicated mod that's being attached to a game that is in early access. Nothing is ever guaranteed to work. So it's possible we could put a whole bunch of work into getting a train thing set up, and it doesn't work, which will of course be disappointing. But remember, people who make mods make it for free, and we don't do mean things to people that do things for free if they don't work out. That's not being a nice human being. But let's hope that does work, because I really love the train mod. I've had so much fun with it, so many other playthroughs. I do want to temper expectations just a bit for that. So we'll get these guys in here, taking everything able to be blown up. B for boom. Of course, there's more levels that we have to blast out. But I did also want to let you guys know I have re-enabled the day-night cycle. I've asked for opinions a couple times, and the overwhelming majority of people who have chosen to leave comments about that issue have said they miss the day-night cycle, or that it's disorienting to only have daylight all the time. And I'm tempted to agree. I know there's some of you who really like to see just the daylight all the time. I'm sorry, but we're going to go with this because it makes it a lot easier to keep track of stuff. And that is what most of you do want to see. So I do want to see here. So this would be one block. Oh, okay, we're only missing one. Good, then I don't have to waste all of these other things. I just put a single piece of dynamite in. And then they'll blow that up. And then we get down here. So remember, we have to take at least probably, I don't know, 9 of these in here. I'm not exactly sure. But it's going to be enough work required to get this even accessible in the first place that we're really probably just going to want to take all of these out, this 5x5 area, just to be sure. So how we're going to end up accomplishing that is through the use of metal platforms, overhangs, stuff like that. We need to be able to build up. And we need to have a support structure underneath all of this land so that we can tunnel it out and then remove it. I don't think it's going to be an issue of removing any support from everything that's above it. We'll see. I don't know. It's just such a complicated thing. I'm anticipating problems. Let's hope it doesn't come to it. Remember, we cannot build anything directly on top of this. The game does not allow it. So I think the easiest thing for us to do is going to be probably, because they can build directly above themselves. And if we're going to have tunnels, they have to be able to have the support underneath them. So yeah, we're going to have to cover this entire thing. It's going to take metal. Yes, I know we only have so much metal, but remember, come all the way over here, and we have some that is still accessible. It can be mined. Well, not mined is the wrong word, but we've got enough extra beavers that now... Oh, that's not going to work, huh? That's also not going to work. Yeah, you know, it's ugly. It's ugly, but it's fine. I'm going to put 2 more of these in here so we can have 4 beavers working on this. I don't know if there's another one I can squeeze in here. Okay, well, that works. And I want to be careful not to block anything off. Yeah, we'll get these guys access to enough. That should be okay. I think there's not really that much here, but this guy could also, you know, reach a good bit of that. Alright, so let's go back over to this mess as soon as I remember where in the world I am. Oh, this is hard for me to keep up with. Alright. They have not done this. Let's get that first of all. So we can just detonate this and move on with our lives. Who's going to be the one who brings the boom? Alright, I see it. I see it. Alright, there you go. B for boom. Alright, so now I'm going to take this out of triple speed. But now we have access all the way down here. And I'm going to just, for the sake of expedience, construct ladders all the way up here. Of course, we have to give it a railing on this level. We're going to go all the way down here, and then I've got to figure out, because I could technically come in from over here, but I can't get the beavers through this. I can get them over here. So right now, if I want this to be as best as it can be, I'm thinking, let's see, you know what? A single platform all the way across like this is probably going to be the best way. And I know this is going to just irritate the you-know-what out of some of you guys, but it's the way it goes. All we have to do is put all these up here. We are going to be able to recover most of this metal. Keep that in mind. But I have to have this 5x5 right here. And then on top of this, then I can come in here with my tunnel tool and make a 5x5 just like that. And they can technically do this without going lower, but it has to have something to rest on, which is why all of this is here. And this has to be overhangs because, again, we cannot build anything on top of the mine. So I'm pretty sure they can build all of this without me having some sort of other thing here, because they can just get up on this ladder and build this one, and then so on and so forth. That's going to be a very, very, very long project that I guarantee you don't want to sit there for a whole long time and watch. So let's take a look at a couple of other things. And I do think I'm going to time-lapse some of that. But let's come down here, because there was a really good suggestion made that I think I would like to try and do something with. Remember, we were talking about what are we doing with the berries? Well, we have all these spaces over here that trees cannot grow. But you know what will grow there? Blueberry bushes. So I can put some of those there, and I can put some of those there. I just have to make sure I have a place for a gatherer flag to go that can reach all of those. And if I put this guy here, guess what? I didn't expect that to work. All right, well, you know what? Cool. I'll go with that. Triple speed through the rest of the night here. I do like that quite a lot. Let's come all the way back up here. A request was made that we fix the roofing material here because it doesn't cover enough. That is the opinion that was presented. I don't really have a way of extending this past here with the current selection of blocks. So I'm not exactly sure what the best move would be. I could very easily, and maybe this is the best way to do it, but I could just put platforms here, and then take all of this out, just these right here, and move them out one. This is probably going to be the easiest way to do it. Take these half roof pieces here, and here. Before I build anything else, I do want to make sure this is going to work. I can make this just empty space. Because of how this is built, this is just going to have to stay exactly like that. But if I make this empty space here, we are going to have the beavers be able to get up here to build up on top of it, which honestly is not going to be that hard of a thing to do because we have the tiny tubeway station, and all I have to do is put another one of these up here. But remember, that uses a lot of resources, and I'm trying to be judicious with that, so I will instead choose stairs. Very cheap, very easy to do. And then all I have to do here is take my 2x2 pieces and do one of those numbers. And you know what? That's honestly going to look pretty okay if I say so myself. It's not perfect, but it'll do. It will do. There's going to be a little bit of a gap here that I'm not really a huge fan of. But seeing how this has been for a while, I think it's probably okay. Yes, we'll have them do all this and then build the rest of that. I'm not sure how quickly they're going to do this. It just depends on how everything else is set up. But I don't have anything else going here at the moment. And I know this this hole right here is probably bugging a whole lot of you. Ha, a whole lot of you, get it? Oh, that was bad. I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry, though. Let's get these triple platforms unlocked. I'm just going to fill in the space here. It just makes it easier. So now, see, now this has caused me kind of an interesting problem here. Is what do I put another one of these here? Well, easiest solution is just to do that. Get that taken care of. Make it look slightly less stupid. Don't really have a great answer for the end of this either, but why can't I find the correct buttons? I think this is just going to have to work enough, and then we can revisit it. If you have any other ideas, please do, of course, leave those in the comments. Just want them to be able to build the rest of this here so I can take those stairs out, which I guess I should make that a priority there because they can build everything else from below. So get them to come in here and take care of that, and then we will go revisit the mine area because I do think I'm going to have to time-lapse that. But I wanted them to get as much of that done as they could without me having to do that. So beavers, come forth and give me planks. Do your job. Now I'm sitting here waiting, and I feel kind of dumb sitting here waiting. I guess I just have to wait at this point. There we go. They're actually getting some stuff done. Ah, but now it's the end of the day. They have to go to bed. Remember, because we're trying to take care of our beavers correctly. Wow. Nutrition well-being is actually looking good. Apple pies, scones, cornbread, pepper bread we are not making yet. We need to build a dance hall somewhere. We don't have any... Seriously? We don't have any lanterns yet? I have to remember, do I have the Torii gates? I do not. Okay. So I do need to just have regular lanterns. That is a thing that I must build. I'm not really in love with putting two of these next to each other. So maybe I'll just put them at these intersections, or at least a couple of them, in various locations that might make sense. This doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look fantastic either, I'll give you that much. But it's probably fine. And that's not going to be symmetrical. We'll just leave that alone. All right, folks. You got to finish this. Just come on, man. Let's get it done. We got stuff to do, and I do not want to listen to those sounds anymore. Come on. There you go. Good job. Now I can set it and forget it. After I put in this platform piece here. Okay, they'll finish that. Let's come back over here to here. All right, so now I'm going to time-lapse this. We're going to let them build all of this mess, get this tunnel area blasted out, and then once that's finished, we can start construction on the mine, and then get the mine set up, and then get into both, hopefully, no promises, but two boys and laying the foundations for some trains. Those have to be between districts, though, so we'll have to identify which districts are going to go where. And there's a Badtide coming. Oh, boy. Fortunately, we have that all squared away, so I don't have to worry about that during a time-lapse. Unless, of course, they finish this first. In which case, I will go and double-check it. But I'm like 99.9% sure it's going to be fine. I will see you on the other side. Okay, I have to pause because now I see a tremendous amount of flooded buildings and wet fur, and I am afraid. But we don't have time for fear. Okay, Oh, good. It's only normal water. I think. Alright, so why is that? Oh, no. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. So why is that? Oh, okay. I think I see the problem here. This is not enough edges. Yeah, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no. Oh no. I got 12 sources and only 6 edges. Well, this is fine over here. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot that we have this here. So what's going to have to happen here is this entire thing gets disconnected. Unfortunately, these beavers are going to have to go through this poison nasty water. Unless... Let's try this. I know much ado about quote-unquote nothing. Let's try this. Let's see. First of all, if this is going to flood back this way, we are going to have severe problems because this is not closed in. But it is all clean going through here. Sheesh. There's not really a good way to solve this problem either. Short of just you know, blasting this all the way out. That might give me enough edges. I had 6 edges here and I've got 12. These are all single strength sources, right? Okay, let's just check this real quick. Dev mode, real fast. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, good. No more dev mode. Alright, don't go any further. Don't go any further than that. No, no, no. Okay, we have problems. We have problems. Alright, that is now closed. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Okay, man, this is already a hot mess. So, I'm just going to force this open. That sucks. That is a huge, huge drag. But I have to just drain it. Okay, so there's a tiny bit of contamination here. Now there's all of this. After all of that work, too. Well, that's on me. We don't have any other incredible disasters, right? Well, nobody's injured yet, or sick, or whatever. So, I mean, I guess it's fine. Those are all reachable? Okay. Ugh, what a pain. Well, that's the same as it's always been. Those are full, by the way. Okay, we've got those planted. That's fine. Alright, well, if I spend any more time looking at that, I'm just going to be upset with myself. So let's come back down here, where we did actually finish all of the overhangs. Now, of course, this is next. We have the materials for that, and then after that, we have all of this, which currently we have no storage anywhere close to here. So you know what that means. It means it's time to build incredibly temporary storage just so we don't have to wait another 30 seconds to get something done. I think we had log storage. We need planks, explosives, and extract. At least in some small quantity. So I'll just do one of these numbers. Make it nice and simple. And I suppose that should be priority number 1. Except now I'm very curious. Have they managed to build this yet? No. But man, that really... that makes me so irritated. But that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it has to be fine. Do I dare try and close one of these? I think it probably isn't going to make a huge difference, to be honest with you. But I've got to try and stop it if I can. I know it's only 2 days. It's only another 2 days. Every little bit matters. Every tiny bit counts. See, they're going to have this mostly done by the time this is finished, but you know how it goes. Although I think I'm more interested in showing this. Have they even started bringing this over here? The answer is probably no. Oh, it's already polluted over there. All right, I hate to just jump between stuff, but now this has to be priority. Has to be priority. Just get this done so I can blast this, so I can shut these down, even if we only have 2/3 of the Badtide diverted instead of none of it. That's still an improvement. Come on, explosives. I know you got them. We have over 420 of them. Just get it done. There you go. I see somebody coming in here with this. Oh yeah, there we go. Some of them have some urgency. That's called being a team player right there. I know you're thirsty. Just put your bombs down. You can go get yourself a drink. We have a wide variety and selection of juices available for all of your thirst-quenching needs. Except now the problem is I want to detonate these, but I know they can't reach these unless we get all these in the corner done. Alright, beaver boom. I absolutely have to get these done. I know I can't do anything else until those are taken out there. Of course these would be the very last ones they put in. Come on, man. I can't set this off until somebody comes and finishes this. How much? Okay, there's some poison in here. Well, this is set to turn off, so Alright, somebody, for the love of all that is holy, somebody come over here and finish this so we can set this thing off and just be done with it. Alright, B for boom. I'm going to set all these off at the same time so nobody can possibly get exploded. There, okay. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. No thumb wars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times 2.2 is substantially more than 12. So now that gets to go back to auto. And then that shuts. That shuts. They are shut, right? Yes. Now this comes out here. Okay, no surging, no surging. You stop that. You stop that. Unauthorized surging is strictly prohibited. All right, now go away. Now go. No. You stop that. This is terrible. This is absolutely horrible. I mean, I've got enough edges. Like that has to be enough. Absolutely has to be enough. See, I think this is gonna have to be fine. There's not really much else I can do. Well, as long as it doesn't directly overflow here. Oh, okay, now it says it's okay. I see how it is. Cause incredible chaos for 3 consecutive days. Pollute my lovely, previously unpolluted pond here. Okay, well now this means I have to make sure that I don't have any method by which bad water can get in here. Okay, that's at auto. Those are already at auto. See, somebody said I had a sluice set forced open and it was going to be a horrible tragedy, but these are all on auto, so I don't know what you were saying there. Flat top floodgate. This one, again. Ah. Okay, it was this one. Now it's fixed. I apologize. Yeah, alright. Okay, so I think at this point it's pretty safe for us to just, you know, get rid of this. But now I don't have enough time to time-lapse anymore because we're about to be into a new cycle. So I guess what we'll have to do instead is just let that cycle start and then get into time-lapse mode from there. I don't know. I did not think this was going to go this way. I was not anticipating the cataclysm. I guess since RC, he has kind of trademarked the whole incident thing. See, this is what this is supposed to do. If the person who's in charge of the beavers isn't a complete idiot. That is... Oh, that's so upsetting. That is just absolutely heartbreaking. Well, now we have clean water. And that is going to end up shoving a whole bunch of this stuff straight through here. Which, I mean, I guess is fine. It's just... Those are forced open. That's by design. Don't worry. That was always supposed to happen. Except now this is very full. That's set to auto. What? Okay. Close below contamination. Ah. I just need to have this forced open. Now, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Alright, I'm gonna have to just make the sacrifice for the levees here. Because I'm gonna throw my computer out the window. And it is all my fault. Alright, we have to have emergency egress of bad water here. That is not going into our... I'm gonna... Okay, they're injured. Are they unwell? They are not unwell. Ah, okay, never mind. Now they are. Well, I guess we're going to get to see them go to the beaver hospital. Maybe the most frustrating part about this is there's going to be somebody that leaves a comment, "You're doing this, it's fake." It's like, no, I promise you I'm just this stupid. That's just how this works. Thanks for the engagement, though. All joking aside, this absolutely cannot happen again. There is no universe in which this can be allowed to happen again. So, I think really the only way to stop that from happening is to, one, reinstall at least a couple of fail-safe sluice gates here. And make that a priority. Remember when I had like one priority for this entire thing and I was like, wow, this is going to be fantastic and foolproof and everything's going to be happy, and then, you know, it's fine. So this is now going to be closed below contamination so it can force nasty out. And then I probably shouldn't rebuild these entirely as diagonal levees because I feel like that's inviting problems. But that's how it was built before. That was the fastest way. I remember when I didn't want to get any beavers wet, so I deliberately made it as difficult as possible for that to happen, and then all of this occurred. Oh, this is so frustrating. Alright, so new plan. We lower that so it flushes this out as well. Because now every beaver that's coming through here is just getting absolutely smothered in just yuck. Oh, I only have 5 of those pods too. All right, I gotta pause. I gotta check this out. Have they actually detonated any? They have. Remember when I said I was going to do this and then I didn't do this, and now I have too many other thises going on? Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. What a stupid one-liner that isn't even funny at all, but somehow apparently is just one of those necessary things for every video ever to mention. How am I supposed to get this cleaned out? This is never going to be clean. This is never ever going to be clean. It's also only day 2. Maybe I should just kind of chill out. Well, regardless, we're about to see these guys really, really want to go in here, and they don't have any Phoenix Essence. So, once again, I must hit pause. Where is my Phoenix Essence thing? Phoenix Distillery. Okay, I have to have fuel. Oh my god. Okay. Well, this has gone incredibly poorly. Can I make any amount of this with any of what I've got? I've got beets. I can make it out of beets. That's probably the best chance I've got right now. With all of these recipes. Okay. Where's my beet storage? Oh, it's right here. Good. Alright, I gotta think for a second. Alright, I'm lacking some other better idea. I'm just gonna put a refinery down here. Just like this. I'm going to have it operate on the beet recipe to make fuel. The only reason I'm making fuel, mind you, is so that I have the ability to make Phoenix Essence so I can heal these poor beavers that I sent to an early, very disappointing... oh, I can just put this here. I forgot that wasn't the same size and shape, but that has to be... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm only going to put the small ones here just because I really don't want to bother with it. Yet another construction project in a time of crisis that is stealing resources and beaver power away from the original intended purpose of this entire episode, which was to build the mine. Oh, it's fine. It's absolutely not fine, but it's fine. Let's blast this while we have a chance before anything else goes wrong. That gives me one more edge. I really don't think it's going to be a problem. But now I absolutely must first of all, figure out how to not have a mouth that's so wet it causes incredibly annoying sounds that people hate in the microphone, and also not get dried out where I can't even speak. That has to be finished before we have our next Badtide, because then it can't come through here because it's all going to come out here. What a concept, huh? Love to see it. All right, so this, this is so horrible. I just have to let this run. It just has to do what it has to do. I don't have any way to get this out this way either. And that comes out, actually only comes through here. Okay. That only goes that one direction. I'm gonna have to take this out and just let this go through here. It's probably the only way. There's also a couple of you that really don't like these diagonal levees. I hear you, but at this point, this episode, I can't fix that. That's too much. That's too much in one thing. We'll deal with it eventually. But now this is going to be just so much worse if I don't get this taken care of correctly. Well, at least I have this going. I think this used to take power too. That's why I thought I had to put it somewhere else. And now these can operate, I guess. Bell peppers. Don't tell me about... Oh no, I have almost 1,000 of those. That's fine. So we'll get these guys rocking and rolling in here. They haven't built that because why? Probably because I have way too much going on. I heard explosions, so, you know, we're making progress here. That's to be appreciated, I suppose. So 3 more of those, and then I think I can just take all of this out, and we should be able to put in a mine. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take this out. That's going to get us all those materials back, and we go up here, no loss of surface land. So now the really fun part is going to be, I really hope this fits. Okay, good. That was going to be the icing on the cake if that did not go. Well, that's going to take 1 billion years to make, so I'm not going to worry about showing that to you at this point in time. This is clean enough. Why is... What in the heck is going on here? That should not be a thing. Or is that just burping because this is open and it can't go anywhere else? Alright, you know what? You know what? We're just going to have to flush this. There are mechanisms in place to prevent extreme tragedy from occurring. I just have to flush it. That's the reality in which we live. Did they put that in? No, they did not. I'm not really worried about any of this other stuff. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. So maybe, you know, as fun of an idea as it was for this to just not be completely hideous, I think I am going to have to regrettably make it hideous so that it can be a viable method of keeping things clean. So this just needs to close below contamination so it can open when it is contaminated. And then, yeah. I don't have a... No, I do not have a thing going down that way. Why do I keep doing this to myself? There's no reason. There's no reason for this. I just deleted all that wood. Okay. Don't do this to yourself, kids. Don't play Timberborn at 1 in the morning because you absolutely have to get a video out. Take your time. Make good choices. Don't overextend yourself or bad things will happen. Maybe not to you, but definitely to your beavers. Alright, so that's the new thing, the new disaster they've got to build. I suppose it just has to be prioritized or they're never going to get to it. Alright, but now we have these 8 contaminated beavers who should... Oh, look at them. They're swimming in the goop. Look how happy they are. Or at least happy to be soon not as contaminated. Just, let me click on the beaver. Yeah. You know, remember those "This is your brain on drugs" commercials from the 80s? Yeah. This is your beaver on bad water. Look at that -10. What a debuff. Well, we had these built. We didn't have the supply chain fully established, but they exist. And they're going to do something. And now I have 13 vacancies. That's because we have 12 incapacitated beavers. But, could always be worse. Could always be much worse. Perspective is a very, very important tool in managing your expectations. So I guess now this is our fun construction project we get to watch. So yes, I will time-lapse some of this so I can save you mercifully from having to see an absolute you-know-what ton of just more nonsense. So we'll let them get this taken care of, and then we'll go check on the mine, and then hopefully, we won't have to do this. This being the nonsense recovery ever again. Alright, so they finished this, thankfully. And yes, these are set to auto. They close below contamination, so if this ever gets contaminated, and this is the lowest point at which water could leave here, then, well, water can leave there. And if not, it's nice and closed. So, there's no more pollution here. Take a look at the sluice. It says 0%. This says 0%. So that means now, this can go back to its regular schedule of either just staying in the same spot, which is what it had been, or I can turn these back on. I think it's probably safe to just leave these open forever. Hopefully. But I'm going to put this back at 0.9. I don't think that's going to cause any flooding issues. It shouldn't. These are set to automatic, so that's fine. I believe we are good. This can go back up to 0.9 like it was. I think our long national nightmare is over. So, back in Mineland, absolutely nothing has happened because I prioritized everything else. So, what are we going to do in this area here? Well, we have a ladder, and we have very limited space down here, and we also have a bunch of nasty water. We could, if we felt adventurous and or brave, put in a, what do you call it? Scientific term. But, oh, I don't need metal blocks to build a mine. Of course not. I got 168. I need 200. Okay, well, I will put this here, but I will pause construction of it. Just to be sure. I think this is the only water source down here. Should be. Yeah, and this goes all the way out. Does this connect with anything? Because I know if we go all the way down, so that goes out here. That's flowing this way. Up one more level. This comes out, I guess, underground, kind of at a... I don't know how all this connects, but... So that's fine there. This comes up, and then that comes up, and then this does just come out of the hole here. So, if this is no longer emitting bad water, then eventually this will become clean-ish, but this will backfill. That was what I was attempting to figure out. So... part of our adventure here is going to have to include, theoretically, finding out where the best place to bottleneck this would be. Okay, I need to be able to see. I guess that's the best I'm going to get. Yeah, you know what? This might not be as easy as I thought it was going to be. Well, okay, this might sound kind of dumb, but bear with me here. We have Where's my impermeable floors? There we go. We have impermeable floors, so probably the cheapest way to do this would be to just, you know, build stuff over here, completely block this off, and just let it evaporate and be completely closed off. But that's going to take a lot of metal, unless I wanted to just be really stupid with it. Because I'd only have to go down this one level, but I'd need to be able to build it without these beavers walking in here. And we do have access here, so I could... you know what? I could probably do this. I could probably do it. So all I've got to do is make it so it matches up with this level, but one level down. I can't really build off of this because of how that's set up, but maybe I can, honestly. Okay, this is too much brain power for right now. I know I'm not gonna tempt fate. I'm not gonna do it again. I need them to build this, but that's okay. If you've watched enough of my videos, you know exactly why I'm like this. If not, just I don't even know what to tell you. It just... it is what it is. No explanation is possible. So, for us to get scrap metal out of here, we have to have bricks. If we want the efficient recipe, we also have to have extract. So, the only thing I can really build right here without it being just an incredibly huge pain in the butt is... Nope, never mind, that doesn't fit. Well, I guess you know how this is going to go. That's not going to go there. It's fine. It's fine. Then I suppose easiest thing for us to do is just put scrap metal there, then have our path with railings. This set to supply, this set to obtain, and then there you go. They'll get it eventually. They'll just do it, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Nothing bad will ever happen again. And all of our beavers will live happily forever and ever. At least as soon as they put that levee in. What a day, huh? Let's see. Check my notes here. Put the berry bushes in. We did not swap the diagonal levees out with the normal ones. That will be a later project when I have not already blown things up 3 times in one episode. We extended the hospital design. They haven't finished this quite yet. Do you like this? Did you like the old version better? I don't know. I honestly kind of like the old version better, but it works. It looks a lot more like a barn, but it works. Talked about the day-night cycle. We are in the process of building the mine. So, I guess this is okay. Well, now that we have extract, we could also put detailers in. And that is... Oh, that takes metal, but you know what? You know what? I think this is worth us taking some time to put these in. Alright, so, one with me, one with Gary, you know the deal. That'll be something that gets added. What is paused here? That is the tunnel to get out to this side that I said I was going to do something with later. It is later, but it is not later. We'll do that later. I know. 3 instances of the word later. I want to make sure I do something that is actually kind of interesting, so... For now, all I can do is just, you know, have him build the mine. So that is what I will do. I will end up, yes, time-lapsing this once again. But we got to make some progress on this, because I said by the end of the episode we'd actually have this done. And the recording has just crossed over the 1 hour, 1 minute mark. So I don't know what the timestamp is going to be in reality, because I do have to condense a bunch of stuff. But we have a drought coming up. That's what that was. You've already seen the thing on the time-lapse, but I'm just now finding out that that's what that was. So we don't have to worry about any bad water nonsense happening. We can just let them build the mine and move on from there and hopefully have a very peaceful and productive end of this episode. Alright folks, we have all of the supplies for the mine just in time for cycle 20 to begin. And all we need now is somebody to come and do this last 10% of construction, And then we can finally start the process of taking stuff out of here. Let's make sure this is set to scrap metal efficient mode, even though they haven't built the supply stuff yet. And now I'm going to speed this up just so that can get taken care of. Should see that pop up in just a moment. And there we go. Now we have a mine with a 1.5% per hour chance of injuring the beavers who work here. But hey, you know what? Who's keeping track? So that's taken care of. What a tremendous achievement, even if all it cost was our sanity, our clean water, our uncontaminated beavers, and, I don't know, a couple of the, as of before this episode, ungrayed hairs on my head. But hey, we got it done. And this area should be good to go next to Badtide, because now we have all the edges in question, and I think that should be fine. We improved this. Obviously, there's still more work to do, but as you know, it does take time. So it's about time for us to end this episode, but I do want to talk a little bit more about this, since this isn't currently filled with water. If we hit pause, peel back the water a little bit, it is going to be possible for us to just completely cover this without doing any sort of weird shenanigans with all of our overhangs and all that. If I just commit to it being ugly and put in triple platforms along this entire thing anywhere that it will take them. And then right here, double platforms. And then just get the impermeable floors, set them up over all of these, and then give them a way to actually build this without getting wet. So, easiest way for us to do that is going to be to come in here with our suspension bridges, which we've already unlocked. And I believe, yeah, it's not quite gonna cut it. Not quite gonna cut it. I don't have to have this paused. But if I were to do that, that would give me all of this. And then all I have to do is one of these numbers right here. That takes care of just about all of that. And just for the sake of saving a little bit in materials. You know what? Actually, no. It's actually cheaper to do this. I always forget. So, now we have to connect these. And this should not get wet here. I'm pretty certain that should be fine. Then all I've got to do is get these guys down here. Again, should not be a huge issue. That is going to have to go that way. And I do have spiral stairs. That is something that I have. So I will put one of those there. I will put that there, flipped around. And now this is going to be our defense mechanism to have this area completely taken care of. Now, it should be noted that we cannot have this finished before this is finished. So this has to be a two-pronged attack. We must, absolutely must, not allow this to get compromised. And you know what I did is I kind of fenced myself in here. Well, you know how this goes. That's not going to flood, so I get to create another abomination. And I just have to be able to get across here enough to build this. If I put a 6 by here, is that going to reach? No, it will not. I need one more. One more. Not quite. It's going to be same amount to do 2 and 2. Okay. So now I have these. This obviously is the more important one, so I will make that the priority. This obviously is going to be a great thing to have done, but if this one finishes first, then this is going to flood this entire cavern, and we do not want that to happen. So that's why that's prioritized. And just as an extra layer of security, I will deprioritize a few select pieces here for those. I don't think it's going to matter, but those will be the absolute lowest priority. I will probably ask why they are the lowest priority next episode, because I'm not going to remember. But that's why. That's why, if I say that, you get to roast me. But that's taken care of. And now, mercifully, this episode can end. So I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. I really do. Because, you know, every time, you never know what's going to happen, if it's going to go super great or super poorly. But I can promise you I'm always going to give you exactly what happens. No takebacks, no edits, no putting any nonsense in. It's like, oh, no, this is going to be interesting. No, it's, if something stupid happens, it's because I did something stupid. It's not because, you know how it goes. But it's because of people like you who watch these videos, and especially the beard boosters who subsidize everything, so I don't have to have sponsors or try to game the algorithm or anything. We just have a fun time playing games. And that's what I always want to do, and those folks make it possible. So I'm always going to be thankful for that. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again soon for more Beavers. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.